As you're learning this arrangement, you'll be experiencing some different sounding modern chords. It's chock full of major sevenths, minor sevenths, and even some flatted fifths. These are the original chords as written by Jerome Kern. I've just added some nice passing notes, like in measures 3 and 5 and 11. This tune seems to lend itself very well to a double time feel, the way I played it during the second chorus. I didn't think it was necessary to write out the double time score, because once you get the feel for it, it will come to you quite naturally. Let's get started with our tune-up. Here's the bass string. And the G string. And the B string. And the D string. I thought it might be helpful to go through these chords and explain how I arrived at these formations. Take that first chord, for instance, the G minor seventh. You know how to finger a G minor with a B flat melody, so then we need to find a seventh to add to it. There is a seventh on the third string, but it makes for an awkward chord. The other way is to put that seventh on the second string, the way I've indicated. That first C minor seventh is arrived at through the same reasoning. That next chord is still supposed to be a C minor seventh, but with a B flat melody note. Well, you do the same thing. First play the nearest C minor at the 10th fret, and here it is. Take away the C note, and you end up with a bar at the 8th fret. You could add the seventh like this. I like the sound of the plain double bar better because the bass notes progress a little nicer, so we'll leave it like this. The next note calls for an F7. Notice what I did here. I used the 3 notes to lead up to the 7th, making a nice inside harmony effect. So it's like this. Next is the B flat major seventh. The seventh in any regular seventh chord is actually a flatted seventh. It is the flatted seventh note of the scale. The major seventh that we're now talking about is when you add the actual seventh note of the scale. So take your B flat seventh chord at the 6th fret like this. The A flat note at the 6th fret, this note, is the flatted seventh of the chord. To make it a major seventh, just move it up a half step to the A at the 7th fret. There you have your B flat major seventh. Now this is a tough stretch to make this way, but if you change it like this, then it's not so bad. You could also get a B flat major seventh by starting with a B flat chord at the 8th fret like this, and lowering the B flat note on the first string to A. You'll have what looks like a D minor chord, but it would also suffice as a B flat major seventh. The other form sounds better, don't you think? Listen. It's a fuller sound. In measure 5, we're leading up to that E flat major seventh with some inside harmony notes as we did before in measure 3. Excuse me. Let's skip all the way down to measure 21 and analyze that G sharp minor seventh with a flat fifth starting off the measure. Play a G sharp minor at the 9th fret like this. Here it is. make it a minor seventh, as we discussed before. So it would be like this then. And now flat the fifth. An easy way of finding where the fifth in the chord is by playing your inversions. The Roman numeral 3 inversion has the third on top. The Roman numeral 5 inversion has the, guess what? Fifth on the top. So in other words, when you have the Roman numeral 1 chord, that's this one, you have the root on the first string. This is of course F chord. When you play your what's called the number 3 chord, then the third is on the first string. When you play the 5 chord, Roman numeral 5 inversion, then your fifth is on the first string. So going back to our G sharp minor, be here. So this would be the fifth in the chord. Well, let's see if we can find that note on this G minor seventh that we've got. There it is, an octave lower. On the G string, or on the third string. So that's the one we want to flat or lower. So here, what we do, all we do is lift up our middle finger. And there is a G sharp minor with a flat fifth. Then to finish it off, add the melody note, the C sharp, and you have the chord I wrote out on the music. That's the way it's done. So here's C, here's C sharp. So there's a G sharp minor with a flatted fifth and a C sharp melody. There it is. That's the way it's done.